John's retirement journey and travel. Happy 4th of July. Out here on a beautiful Saturday morning, trying to get this video in before everybody starts coming out to the little park. And financial strategies, 51 to 67, strategic moves and objectives. The moves you make will shape your golden years. Um, and I got a few categories here that I'm going to go over with you, and I'll use myself as an example in many of them. One of them is going to be wage growth. You want to try and get your wages up as high as you can in these last 15 years before a full retirement age of 67. Um, in my case, I left a recycling company, um, $40,000 salary in the year 2012 to work at a healthcare company, and I increased my wages by $100 a week for $5,200 a year. I also went from having a 401k with a 50-cent match on the first 2% to 100% match on the first 5%. So as you can see, I boosted my 401k uh, match, as well as I was typically at about 7% or something like that. And of course, on a higher wage of 45,000 from 40,000, that would have been a substantial amount going into the retirement plan. After 15 months, I started at a data center for a salary of 48,000. So after 2 years and switching two jobs, I increased my um, salary by $8,000, and that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the wage growth. To be able to save more, you must make more, and some of us experience wage suppressions. You know, you don't want to get too comfortable with the jobs that you have. You want to go ahead and move in and something else. The next category I had was a home purchase at 52. I did that with the NACA program, and I got myself into a home right at the point where our corporations were coming in buying up these houses. There was a abundance of condos up for sale, and so I got a pretty good one, and that's where I'm at now. I paid a little bit more for it than what was out there, but the homeowner, Jenny Lynn, she replaced her furnace, AC, water heater. She remodeled her kitchen and the bathrooms, and it's a lower level where I go up a few stairs and I'm right into the, it's not snaking all through the apartment complex. It's the first building. So I was happy there. I dodged some layoffs in 2015. At the data center, the guy next to me got laid off, the guy over in front of me to the right, and the guy in the back of me all got laid off. And I had just got into my home. So I was a little nervous about that. So I had a meeting down at Morgan Stanley with my advisor then, and we looked over the Fidelity account. The Fidelity account was a rollover from the recycling company, and I was told that I need to go out and find my own investments. So I did, and that rollover account had doubled, and I was able to use some of the money out of it for the first time home purchase where it waived the 10% penalty. So I was happy with that. He looked that over, but he had picked up a couple of investments that I know have been paying capital gains and said it was weighing my account down. And he just said you should go ahead and sell it. He's never told me what I what we were going to put it in. I'm assuming it might have been S&P 500, but you never know when you're dealing with a financial advisor because they have certain funds that they are going to put people into that either meet their needs as for the firm as well as you too. Um, and I told him I was concerned about the my home. I didn't want to lose my home. And he suggested that I just get a home equity line of credit while I'm still working and just pay the $60 a month, a $60 a year fee to have the account open in case of that. He never did say, hey, well, John, I know you work these part-time jobs, you know, can you bring me $500 and then make $100 a month contribution here on out? I'll set you up with a Roth. We'll get it invested for you. And if you ever need money, you'll be able to pull out your contributions. So I left there and I was like, okay, he's not going to be much help for me. I can see that now. At that time, I didn't have a very good feeling about my investment. I knew that I was about 53 years old, and based on what I saw with my investments is that with the 401k at the data center, if $3,000 came out of my check, that's what went into the growth portion of the 401k. There was no equity, there's no reinvestment of capital gains, and the match was 50 cent on the first 2%. So I kind of went backwards on the 401k. But anyway, I realized something, that I'm going to need to work harder, or I'm just have to go work all the way to Social Security, and I'll only be able to withdraw 5,000 because I was forecasting to have 100,000 as I sit here today. Um, the next thing we wanted to talk about is a car and transportation. In your early 50s and moving into 60 years old, you want to knock down that reliable transportation. In 2011, I went ahead and bought the Honda Civic, and I've had it ever since. It's got 176,000 miles on it. Stayed on top of the maintenance, and they really know how to build those small engines. And it's running really, really good. I don't have any problems with that. And so I'm good there. If I want to drive something better, I could just rent a car now that I'm retired. I'll just keep driving that car. Um, when I got my car paid off in 2016, I boosted my 401k to 10%, and I held it steady until 2019. And that's when I joined E-Trade then. The fourth item I have in this 51 to 67, because it is really a chess. You're playing a game of chess. The moves you make now are going to set you up for success. And item number 4 is investment types that benefit you. You want to get in the habit of picking investments that are going to help you down the road. Um, the 401k, we always should get that to match out the employee match. Um, there are a lot of catch-ups that you can do as an investor. But one of the biggest things is that brokerage account for tax-free withdrawals that a lot of people are using as a bridge that are retiring early. And the other one is the Roth 401k. While you're working, you want to go ahead and get that Roth set up so that and pump some money into it, because you can always withdraw it, especially for the younger people who may want to withdraw their principal or their cost basis and use it for a down payment on a house. That is going to be your best bet. Now, at this point, you also want to take a look at, if you want to just get the minimum and work extra hard and pay off that mortgage. Most of the successful retirees that I've been watching here have all paid off the mortgage. Once that mortgage is paid off, if you were having your mortgage is $1,500, your budget was $5,000. Now that budget is $3,500, and all that extra money that you were putting towards a mortgage, you could use the catch up on your 401k as well as your other investments, or just move it into a high yield savings to build up that emergency fund or that bridge account. So this is where right now your investment types have to match. And if you're unsure, you want to either meet with a financial advisor or just start studying on your own the different type of investment. Put some money in it, see how it works for you, learn the ins and outs about it, and then move on to the next one. And last, the next one, health, get as many age-related tests and dental work done. In your between the 51 and 67, myself, I got 2 crowns done with the corporate insurance. I went to see a dermatologist after I had left the firm. They already told me, hey, we can get these spots moved off your face. This is how much it's going to cost. We did that. We moved some off the chest. They said there's some on the back. You can come back for that. Um, those crowns, that was a big deal for me because I do have some coverage. But believe me, getting that extra crown done when I normally would just let it go for another year on the corporate insurance, I got both of them done. It was a really good deal for me. I've also have gotten the colonoscopy done. I've got that nuclear stress test. Man, that was expensive. And I got stuck with a whopping bill for that. I wound up doing a payment plan. But using your corporate insurance to get as many of these age-related tests, I think even with diabetes, they've got some kind of exam where they're trying to measure the blood flow all the way down in your feet. You've got the all of the things related to the age-related test that a doctor will spring on you, because you'll go in for a checkup. He says, well, you're 47 now, you haven't had a colonoscopy, and now you got to go get that. So make sure you include your doctor in with your health care. Let them know, hey, I'm planning retirement. Are there any special tests that I need to get done? Because I could be coming out of work and going on ACA or paying out of pocket. And they'll tell you, and then you can decide, hey, do I want to come out now or should I hold on? Because there's a lot of people, I'm not like that. I'm not going to tell you to retire early or as soon as you can. You retire when you get ready. Matter of fact, you're better off working as long as you feel like it. The, you know, taking Social Security at 62. I've never talked about Social Security because I don't plan on taking it. It's reserved for me, but I'm not fooling with it. So just keep that in mind. And the last thing I have here is finalize your retirement plan. Um, get on board with your spouse and the things that you guys want to do. And also, when you're meeting with these guys and you're talking about investments, make sure you look up the ticker symbols. Don't let them put you in a technology fund or a total market index that's cost you $700 per share. They have the exact same investments for under $20. If they do that to you, ask them, hey, look, I feel these a little bit expensive. Can you find some of these same investments for less than $25? Some of them are going to maybe do it, others just simply will not, because they have a script in certain investments that they work with. So my name is John, and I'm also the host of the Retiring Club, wishing that you could come on by to my channel. If you like this material, go ahead and subscribe. And happy 4th of July. A lot of great things happening in my retirement that I want to share with you. I've really done a good job cutting my costs here this summer. Thanks, and make it a good day.